Welcome to our mid-morning break room. My NASCAR man 3345. And we have our fellow new counterpart here. For the full load again today. We have Tommy, the bargain effects. Wayne Shark Picker. I gotta get this figured out. There it is. And of course, Anthony from Pittsburgh.
What up?
Well, so how's everybody doing today? So,
Doing good, man.
So we're ready to have some fun today. We did make the focus on the show today was how do you confront customer service when you have to call eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, whatever you got to do, and how do you handle yourself? So that's the first thing we wanted to talk about. But Anthony, why don't you let everybody? Why don't you introduce everybody in from the chat who came in?
Sure. First one here was Dan Flip Gruters, followed by West Max Gary, Lisa C, DC Sales, the master of the license plate. If you would give Lisa C a wrench, Derek, she's going to help us out.
You got it.
Jamie Rump Stump Reseller. She's in the Heezy Faux Sheezy. Kelly D, come on board. Good morning to you guys. If I missed anyone, or if you're just coming in, be sure to say hello, and I'd be more than happy to greet you.
Awesome. All right, so let's see. Hi, Diane Matthews. Thank you for coming in. So, Tommy, I know you do a lot of, because you have the VIP treatment with eBay. How do you talk?
I have a concierge service.
Yep.
So what I do, I figure if I have an issue and I got to call eBay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my lipstick. Then I take one of Destiny's old birth control pills because I know I'm going to get screwed. No, honestly, I'm just talking smack. I really don't have. I probably am on the phone with eBay once a month. I don't have real chronic problems, and very rarely are those anything buyer related. But I just handle it polite, man. I called one time, I was really frustrated with a situation that was a buyer thing. I called with frustration and aggravation in my voice, and the phone call just did not go as positively as I would have liked it to go. Mm-hmm. If I start out with a positive, great attitude with the people, I have never had a problem yet. I have not lost a case to a buyer. I have not had anything happen that I felt was unfair or got off the phone upset. But I believe a lot of it is tied to that initial 10 seconds on the phone with them, that greeting period. You know, it's how you interact from that initial greet. If you call up and you're aggravated, or, well, I got this problem, or eBay screwing up, I believe you're going to get that same sort of response. And if you're nice, positive, even if you're not happy about the situation, I think I just had really good. I can't say I have had bad experiences.
Well, I think even outside of calling customer service, if you interact with somebody in any kind of conversation, you can tell in the first 5 or 10 seconds what direction that conversation is going to take.
Yep.
You know, positive, negative, good, bad, otherwise, you know.
I've always been told, too, you get more with sugar than you do with vinegar. And that's the PG way of saying it. My grandmother used to teach us a completely different way of saying that phrase. Well, yeah, I mean, the nicer you are to somebody, the more they're going to be willing to help you out, you know. So I try to stir up a conversation with customer service reps, and I try to be as nice as possible and as friendly as possible because they're so used to basically getting screamed at by people all day. You know, I used to work in that line of business, so I know the value in a nice and friendly customer and how much more you're willing to help them out a lot. So, you definitely attract more with sugar than you do with vinegar. I want to say hi to a few more people, though. Harlan jumped in. What's up, Harlan? And to flip it, Gate City Picker, what's up, Paul? John Jones, good morning. Kevin Crawley, good morning to you, my man. And that looks like about everybody. Diane Matthews, hello.
But also along that same lines, if you go into that conversation, like Tommy was saying, oh, there's all these problems with eBay, and you're complaining, you've immediately put them on the defensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And I agree with Anthony. I was in a customer service field for a period of time when I was younger, and answering the phone right off the bat, I knew whether this was going to be a pleasant person to work with or not. If you answer the phone and they're just all of a sudden barking at you, right away you come back with, I'm going to do the bare minimum I got to do for this person and get off the phone with them because I don't want to deal with them. Yeah. And then there was people that were like, and it was a pleasure. You would bend over backwards because they just seemed like a pleasant person to deal with.
Right.
Absolutely.
The problem, I've never had any problems dealing with eBay customer service over a customer issue or, hey, this is a problem with my account. The problem I've had is if I call to get clarification on something, and the problem I have is as a seller or as a buyer on eBay, I should be able to trust what a rep tells me, a rep from eBay, and I understand there's some people that are newer, but they should have, you should get the same answer regardless of who you talk to at eBay. Right? Yeah. And I think that's what I struggle with a lot, because you make that one call and you trust what they say, and then you start talking around and you hear a lot of different other things,
Yep. And I've heard people say that if you call eBay 5 times with a question, you'll get 5 different answers. I've heard many people say that. And I feel so sorry for you people out there that don't have like the concierge service. And because I hear all these horror stories, I call eBay, Rebecca will be like, I was on eBay, I was on hold for 45 minutes, and then I got this dude that don't speak no English. And man, I can see we're going into a conversation. You're frustrated already just from that. I sit on hold, and then I got a guy I can't hardly understand. And I feel for you people that got to deal with that.
Yeah. Derek's actually live on a call with eBay right now.
I think he's is it eBay or is he on with the Macari? I know he was waiting for Macari to call him back.
Probably Macari. I know it's tough. And it almost makes you lose trust or shy away from calling, because you've had that situation. But along those same lines, I know I've talked once or twice to the eBay for Business on Facebook, and they've been very responsive. I don't know how many people use that. Anybody in the chat, if you've ever talked with eBay for Business on Facebook, let us know. Let us know if that's gone any better than your experience with calling in to the call center.
Just me. Kathy's on hold with eBay. I've always used the call me button. I've never actually called them. I use the call me button, and I have been called in no more than 5 minutes.
It's awesome.
And then when they call you, you're not called and put on hold. They're there right there automatically.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I've ever had an extensive wait. Not more than a few minutes. I don't know if it's the time I've called. I mean, I'm not calling eBay customer service 2-3 times a month.
Right. That's what I say. I call maybe once a month. Sometimes I don't call them for 2 months straight.
Good morning, Scott. Welcome in. Alabama Thrifter. Good morning. Good morning, nameless. Eric says, I have not for me since I have anchor support. And I really think, it's they're going to cater to those that are, have the higher scores, or have the concierge or whatever, And I'm not saying, they're going to ignore the smaller people or the people that don't, but it's in their best interest to take care of the people that are taking care of them,
Yeah, for sure.
But so I know we've got some people that sell on multiple platforms. I know Tommy, you sell on Macari and have done a little bit of Poshmark. How do you?
Who's got that music or something? There's a lot of noise at Flash and Craig out.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
I wonder how the customer service in general compares between the platforms. I've not had to call Macari. I've dealt with Amazon customer service before from a seller perspective, and have had good results there. And I've only called them about 4 or 5 times over a year, maybe a year and a half. Any different experiences with other platforms that we can compare?
I haven't really had too much. I mean, I've never talked to like Poshmark at all.
Me either.
In fact, we just deleted all our listings from Poshmark because it was like delete them all at once because I don't want to keep deleting them one by one as they sell everywhere else but Poshmark.
Yeah.
So we just deleted that for now, and that's just sitting on the back burner. We didn't close the account. It's just sitting there. And Macari, I've never had to deal with customer service. Derek's probably going to be able to fill us in on that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, Amazon, we actually did. I dealt with Amazon the other day as a buyer and as a seller in the same phone call, which was kind of interesting because we had an issue. We went to make one of our purchases for our vinyl cutter, and all of a sudden there was some strange address out of Indiana on our ship to address. And it's like, where the hell did this address come from?
Wow.
And like I said, I've been holding off on getting involved in Amazon until I have some things in place there, which are pretty much good to go now at any time. It's just with starting a printing thing, not spreading myself too thin. But then I had some seller questions, and the because it was a security issue, and then I was going to ask some seller questions as far as new seller account. They transferred me to the captive team in Amazon, and that was a very pleasant experience as well. Whether it's because they were kissing our butts because we were initially called about being a buyer, or because they hope to recruit a new seller. I mean, they're very welcoming, or if it's a little of both, or is there just pleasant people to deal with? I don't know. It was my first experience with dealing with them, but that was also a pleasant, about a 40-minute conversation. It wasn't whole time. I just had a whole bunch of questions, and they answered them very thoroughly, and what I felt confident in their answers. They weren't evasive in anything. So, I mean, eBay, Amazon so far, both I think have decent customer service, at least for what I use them for.
Right. Rebecca had a good point, a good question. I was about to go this route. She says, "Good luck calling Macari. I needed to and couldn't find a number." Do you shy away from businesses, websites, whatever, where you cannot physically talk to somebody if there's a problem?
Oh, yeah. I'll give you a good example. I had a major problem as a customer with the Wish app, and it's impossible to talk to somebody. You know, I literally went down that rabbit hole for like 2 weeks, and then I just said, you know what, screw it. I'm not shopping here anymore.
I have no problem with sending an email to somebody.
Well,
that should not be the
email.
You what?
You can't even get a real response to your email. It's all like your generated crap.
Right. You're going to get an auto response, but you know, I don't mind sending an email for support, but that shouldn't be my only option, especially if you're talking about, you know, I know maybe a buying platform where you're buying and you're not a seller.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I can understand that or say it's right or wrong, but if it's a platform that I'm to ping on for something, I feel like I should be able to reach out to somebody, not even just a platform, if they're providing a product or a service that I'm buying or selling, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a difference in generations where everything is moved to you'll get a text message or we'll send you a tweet or we'll send you an Instagram private message or what, you know? Are we getting away from that phone call?
Yeah, there was, I don't remember what it was. It was about a year ago, I think, that I was looking into other platforms to sell on. About the time I started selling on Macari, and there was a platform I was very, very interested in. I liked the way it looked. I can't remember what it was. And I liked their fee structure and everything, but they did not have any live support. So I passed it by. Because if I have a problem, I want to talk to somebody. I don't want to send an email and you're going to get back to me in 3 days, a week, whatever. If I have an answer I might need taken care of now, I need to know I'm going to get a hold of somebody within a reasonable time that's going to tell me how to handle this situation. So if they don't have live support, I don't usually get involved in them.
Right. Lisa, see that I have to laugh when I see this. Says, I just love how when you get an obviously offshore customer support person, and they say, "Hello, my name is Ralph." They have a heavy Indian or Eastern accent or whatever. I have to laugh too. I'm like, no, your name is not Ralph. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll do that. Like, well, even with the spam phone calls they call, and they'll do that, and they're clearly from overseas or something, and they show up with a U.S. phone number, and my phone tells me like what city and state the phone number is like designated to or whatever. So one of the first things I'll do is I'll be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? Where are you from?" They'll be like, "Oh, I'm from New York," and I'm like, "Oh, well, how come it says Chicago on my phone?" Click, they hang up.
Yeah, it is funny to play with them like that. I get those calls all the time where it's they're trying to hack you, and they get, "Oh, the global server is telling me that your Windows is out of not updated and all that," and I will stay on. I'll buy into them. I'll run my mouth with them. Just, how do you know it's this and how do you know it's that? It's
there's times they do that, especially when I'm pre-approved for like a big massive credit amount. Oh, if you want to give me some money, all right, let's do this. I got a credit score of 496. Come on. Or they try to sell me an extended warranty for my 96 Explorer. Hey, you want to warranty it? Great, I could use it.
Yeah, I have a problem when they start asking about. Well, I even question when I get a call from somebody that may be a legit request, and they're like, "I need you to confirm that you are who you say you are." I'm like, wait, no. It's crazy. I think twice about it, if I know that it is somebody from the bank or whatever. Yeah. Well,
that's like I say when they call with these loans. Oh, you've been pre-approved, and this and that, and then they'll start asking my information. I'm like, well, you should have that already. You already approved me. What do I? You got that information,
right? What about PayPal from customer support? I'm trying to think if I've had to call them.
PayPal's always been helpful for me.
Really? I'm trying to think if I've ever had to call them.
I think I talked to PayPal twice. 2 times over the last, God, however long I've had PayPal. Once was so long ago, I don't remember what it was about. And the next time was just getting Destiny put on as a authorized call person that she can call and handle situations if something would arise.
Right. I think overall I've been pretty lucky with either eBay, Amazon, PayPal, any of these places. I don't think I've had any bad experiences, which is I've been pretty lucky. So I've heard a lot of horror stories from people. But,
yeah.
Derek says PayPal helps out a lot. 3 hours with them. That's good. Good morning, Jackie. Editing. Good deal. Oh my, what else? Who else? My. So anything going on today? Anything special? I know you got your Bible study today, Anthony.
Yep.
Right?
2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I got my vinyl cutter coming in today, so
Awesome.
I'll probably be playing with that this afternoon because I ordered a bunch of vinyl to play with.
Playing, yeah. You gotta test it.
Yeah, that's it. It's work. I gotta test it.
Well, I guess Derek picked a good topic for today. He says he's sorry he's on the phone with Bakari.
He must be on hold. Oh, I always talk about that.
That's what the music was the hold.
Yeah.
I really hate. I understand why some companies use them and all that. The whole on hold music, and you listen to music for a little bit, and then all of a sudden your call is very important to us. Well, no, if my call was that important to you, you would have picked up and answered the phone.
Right.
I know they're trying to be polite and all that, but it's.
Well, I know Derek's been waiting on
this. On the other side, you have people that are sitting in cubicles that literally the minute the phone clicks off, somebody else is already on the line.
Yeah, it's just bang, 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 quick. Sarah from Treasure Hustler says, also, if you ever need to contact customer service, especially Macari, contact them on Twitter. They will respond within an hour. And I really think that's what I said earlier about the whole, getting away from phone calls. So much is really being driven by social media for contact. With Twitter and Instagram, and I think the reason they respond that quickly is because they know that a bad situation on social media can spread like wildfire.
Oh yeah.
If they don't address it, and answer it quickly, that it could have a big negative impact.
DC Cells asked, what kind did you get? I think she's talking about the vinyl cutter. We're starting out with just the Silhouette Cameo 3. And then I am looking at a bigger US cutter, 48-inch wide, I believe.
Wow. Rebecca says, hopefully it's not like eBay. He'll be on the phone the whole show. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get an update when he gets off.
Well, I think what Derek should do is when they come on the phone, he should say, hey, can I put you on hold? I'm in the middle of a show.
I'm sorry, I got a call from eBay. Can you hold, please? I'm talking to eBay about my car issue. Wow. That's crazy. So that being said, what's the last issue you had to call a platform's customer support for? I'm trying to think of the last time I did. I had a situation on Amazon. It was crazy.
What was it?
This was the end of the year last year, maybe October, November. I had an item that had sold. It was about $175, $180 item on Amazon, and I shipped it in. It sold within like hours after getting there, and it went into a state. I can't remember what the status was. It sat in pending for like a week, and I called, and I was trying to figure out what was going on, and then they it was a mess. I called, and they said that there was a problem with the buyer's credit card information on their file. And finally, after I think I waited out 2 weeks, I ended up canceling the order. It finally came back to restock. It sold again, and had the same problem with that one. I think I sold that thing 3 times. After the second time, I think it went into suspended inventory or something. They lost it. It showed 0. They gave me my money back. They covered the cost of it. It wasn't the full amount, but it was a decent amount. And then finally it showed back up in my inventory and it sold again. But it was crazy. I couldn't get a firm answer on what was going on. Yeah, it was a mess. Y'all have anything that's happened recently?
Yeah, this was a few weeks back. It was probably beginning of last month or so. Somebody had bought a TENS unit from me, and it was like in mint shape. It had the pads in there that connect that were like never opened. They're still sealed in the package or whatever. Sent it out, and they got it. And within like an hour or 2 at tops from the time I got a notification that it was delivered, he said, "Oh, I ordered the wrong kind." Okay, that sucks for me because at that point I had free shipping and free returns. Okay, go ahead, send it back. Well, I get it back, and the wires on the 10 unit, I mean, it clearly wasn't the same unit. It was the same model, same make, but it was not the same unit. The wires were all frayed. The pads were all yellow. It was nasty, and I was like, no. So I called eBay and says, this is clearly not the same unit. They asked me to send them a picture of the unit that was returned, and they told me to give them a 50% refund because it's not the same unit.
That's great.
And eBay was going to match it with the other 50%.
Wow.
And then I could do what I want with the unit. I could toss it, sell it, resell it, relist it, whatever. So I actually ended up basically, I cleaned that unit up and just sold the electronic part of the unit. Mm-hmm. So I sourced the unit initially for, I think it was like $8 at a rummage sale. And I sold it for $70, got it back, got to keep my money, and was able to sell the other unit again for $45. So I came out ahead.
Nice.
I I was very happy with the outcome on that.
Rebecca says, I shipped 2 books to the wrong people and called Amazon for help. They would not help me because I send my own orders, so I had to fix it by myself. I've never had any issues with, I've done some fulfilled by merchant. I've also done FBA. I know one of the biggest differences is the customer support you get. Oh, I'm sorry, the customer support, the way customer support is handled, customer support, customer service is handled from the buyer. If you do fulfilled by merchant, it all comes to you, within reason. With FBA, they handle everything A to Z. Amazon does, and that's why I think that's part of that's built into the fee you pay for FBA. But I don't know if that's right. Somebody else that's bigger with Amazon might need to speak up on that.
With that question, I mean, with that statement, for shipping 2 books to the wrong people, calling Amazon for help. I mean, Rebecca, I love you. We're friends with Rebecca, really good friends. But what was Amazon supposed to do? I mean, I don't. How could? There's no way. How could they fix it?
I mean, theoretically, you would get 2 returns potentially, right?
Right. I mean, there's not much. I don't think Amazon really, even if they wanted to help, what could they really do in that situation other than wait for the people to send the books back and resend them out to the right people?
That's probably a pretty not a bad situation, but not a good situation to be in.
I mean, I had that done. That happened here. Jaslyn, my daughter wanted to learn shipping. She switched labels on 2 packages. And they went out, and the first person got it and said, "This is not what I ordered." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Okay, well, return it." Or initially, I told them I didn't tell them anything because I figured if they got the wrong package, the other person got the wrong package. And I checked with the other person to make sure. So the one person wanted to return it, get their money back, didn't want the package back, and the other one was really patient and said, "Hey, if they send it back, just send it to me, and everything's all good." So the person that was very understanding and was like, just if you get it back, forward me the package. I told her to even keep the wrong package that I sent her. It was like pajama pants, and it just got mixed up. And I was like, now you have 2 pairs of pajama pants. One's on us because we made an error and it was an inconvenience to you. And she was ecstatic, And by the time I figured in cost of what we paid for it and our shipping, I made this lady ecstatic for about $4.50.
That's awesome.
Right. And a lot of times it depends on what that item is. If it's something I've got multiple quantities of, it could be, hey, just keep that one, do what you want with it. I'll ship the one to the right one. I've also had situations where I think I've had that situation maybe once or twice where I've shipped the wrong product to somebody, and it's always been paired up with another one. And in one situation, I talked to both of them and said, hey, if I send you a label, will you just put this back in the mailbox and have them pick it up? And just go ahead and print out a PDF, a PDF paper. Or just
I see what support Rebecca was looking for. Okay, yeah, I guess they could have helped with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been in that situation, especially with Amazon, so I wouldn't know what. Good morning, Tease Flips. Welcome in. Anybody else? Glenn, good morning. But wow. Any other situations? So,
I mean, I've called eBay several times just to have them increase my limits and everything, like as far as number of listings I can have or whatnot, because they cap you. Like once you get to a certain point, they'll cap you at a number. But if you call them, they'll increase that number.
Mm-hmm.
I've also called to try to get into beta programs with them and stuff. Like whenever they first started this, you could send offers to buyers, like whenever they're watchers on certain items. I called them because I wanted in the beta program, so you can contact them and you're able to get them to unlock specific things on your account.
Is that did you do that through customer service, the normal number?
Yeah. You just basically tell them what you want and they'll do it. For the most part, within reason. Sometimes you need to be within a certain criteria to be a part of some kind of a beta or whatever, but
right.
Within reason, like if you ask them to accommodate you in some way, they normally will.
Yeah. Rebecca said she got one of the books back and sent it to the right person. Still waiting on the other one. Just be careful. I mean, the only issue you might have is you might get dinged with a positive, negative. I mean, a positive, negative. That makes sense. A possible negative feedback, and I don't know how. For those people that sell on Amazon, feedback is a lot different on Amazon than it is on eBay. Your chances of getting feedback on Amazon are few and far between. I don't know what the percentages are, but it's a lot harder. And if you get one negative, it can have a huge impact, especially based on your amount of feedback. But all right, Derek, give us a report. How'd it go?
Well, I'll be back up on Macari by this afternoon. They're putting all my listings back up.
Nice.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah, they made a mistake. They didn't give me a warning, and it was my mistake because I put an email in on one of the messages, and you're not supposed to do that. But I'm like, at least give me at least a warning, or tell me, hey, listen, you can't do this. But I just get off the phone with Fran from Macari, and she's like, "We're sorry it took so long, but they had to find all my listings." So, and they're still looking for a couple more. That's why it's taking a little bit longer. But they said if there's something missing, just get back in touch with us, or just try to see if you can relist it. If it won't let you relist it, then it's still in the system somewhere. So,
right. Well, that's cool. It should be back up and going.
Thank God. I got stuff for Q4 ready to go. So,
yeah, bad.
That's good.
Kelly said that she was called for a GPS item that was damaged in transit, and eBay refunded the cost to the buyer. I've had a couple of those too over the years, and that once it hits the GSP, not GPS, GSP. Once it hits the GSP, that's why I use it, because it's not my problem anymore. I had one thing that went missing once delivered, and one thing that they claimed damage on, and eBay dealt with it. They kept let me keep my money, and
yeah, that's one because it goes to Kentucky, right?
We handled it, but
it goes to Kentucky and they handle it, right?
So in that case, when you have that issue, because I've screwed up on that, I've taken care of it, and then I've submitted to eBay for reimbursement, and they refused to reimburse you on that. So that was one where I started off with the sugar, and I had to get real vinegary with them in order to get any kind of compensation, because they're basically saying, "Oh yeah, if you would have just sent the customer to us, we would have taken care of it, and it would have been covered." And they're like, "We appreciate you taking care of the customer, but since you took care of the customer, we're not going to help you." And I was like, "Well, that is like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard." I go out of the way to make both myself and eBay look good, and I basically get punished for it because you're telling me this exact thing I did is covered, but not because it came through me and not you.
And that's one more reason why I've always stuck with GSP.
Yep.
There's so many benefits to it. It may cost a little more for the buyer.
For the buyer,
right?
But I like it when I send something GSP, and once it says that my item has been it's leaving Kentucky and it's being forwarded, I'm pretty much like, okay, it's a done deal now. It made it through eBay and their whatever they do, inspection and repacking, and once they send it out the door, they seen my item, they approved my item, they felt my item. It's worthy. I don't have to worry about it no more. Now, if there's a problem, once it gets to its destination, that's eBay's problem.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a higher level of scam with that type of thing, being that like maybe some of these buyers know that once it gets to Kentucky, eBay is going to cover if there's anything wrong with it.
That potentially, I would think.
It could, yeah.
That wasn't vodka you were just drinking, was it?
You talking to me?
I'm talking to Tommy.
No, I got coffee with Kahlua Bailey's creamer. No.
Yeah.
Starting already. Jesus.
It's a little early in the morning for that.
Right. Well, I mean, I had a confrontation with Macari before this third day we were in, and I talked to Tommy about it, where I made a deal with a gentleman, and I made a new listing for 3 GI Joes. He got the package. He's like, this one's broken. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. He said, so I said, send it back to me, and they'll give you the refund. And they're like, "Oh," I said, "I can only give you a partial." Well, Macari doesn't do that. I said, "It doesn't." Okay, whatever. And so I put in a claim to Macari. I'm like, something's not right here. And he sent me the figures back. Two of them were right, and he switched out one of the figures to a totally different. It was the same figure, but it was totally different. It was even beat up more. So he wanted the better one that I sent him, and he sent me the crappy one that he had. So, but I won the case and got the money back. So, poop on him, you know.
Rob Stump says, "Geez, I thought Tommy was drinking straight out of the pot." No, our
Almost
50
gave me.
percolator broke yesterday, and so this morning I went and I pulled one of our other coffee pots out of storage, but it's been in there a while. I want to run a couple cleaning cycles through it. So
Vinegar.
I went to the Quick Trip this morning, and I'm not going to go there every hour and buy another cup. So I just got a big 64 ouncer.
I don't think I've ever talked. A lot of people in chat talking about GSP, and I know we were a minute ago. I don't think I've ever had a return request on a GSP item. I've been pretty lucky with my GSP shipments. I don't know that I've had any
about these return requests with those.
Yeah.
BK Vending says people are crooks.
Yeah.
Not everybody. I mean, you my mind, God, I can't talk.
Start over again. Go down.
People are good because, like I said, last Friday, Joe sent me up. We went up to the bins again. I wasn't feeling the greatest, but he wanted me to get me out of the house. And I had one guy. I don't know if I scared him when I first got there, but I was grabbing all the Hot Wheels and Matchbox and all the toys on the bottom of the bin. And this guy goes to me. He goes, "Oh, you like Hot Wheels?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I look for Hot Wheels too." And after that, it's like every single Hot Wheel he found in the bins. He's like, "You want? I'm like, "What did I scare you?" He handed me stuff like, "Here you go."
And I think talking about people being crooks, it's tough to not get in that mindset, you know, because I think we talked a while back about, you know, getting filmed and all that. You know, it's when do you get? Is it just your gut feeling? Is it, you know, it's tough not to always think negative about a situation, you know.
Yeah.
Your mind gets thinking, well, is this not, you know?
Yeah.
In the end, you know, what do you do? You know, it's just a tough decision. Lisa said you create a bin wallet.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's tough.
I hate to say it, but Joe's still piling stuff on his table because he had two duffel bags full of stuff.
Wow.
Now, so what's his name's coming up in 2 weeks? Alex, Fat Man the Flipper, he's coming up and he's going up to help somebody move, but he's already like, "Well, we're gonna meet up so we can do the bins." Because I want to see how you handle yourself at the bins. I'm like, "Hey, you don't even want to imagine, buddy."
Right. DC Cell says every return, first thought, it's a scam.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people are probably challenged with that, you know, trying to get out of that mindset. The easy thing is to think that it's a scam. Right. But not everybody's trying to pull one over on you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a slippery slope, you know.
Yeah, Destiny gets that though. If I tell her, "Oh, there's a return, come and watch for this package or whatever," she'll be like, "Who's trying to rip us off now?" And it's like,
Ash gets that way too.
You know, and it's sometimes, you know, I think I really out of the last year maybe had one that I felt they were legitimately trying to scam.
Right.
And I won that one pretty easy. eBay felt it too, so
right.
It was pretty obvious, and for eBay to admit the buyer was a scammer, it was obvious.
And 9 times out of 10, eBay will have your back, even if they do refund the buyer. they're gonna give you your money back too. Sometimes, not every time. DC Sales had a good wasn't it DC? Yeah. Had a good point. Sometimes it helps to ask for photos, especially if you've got somebody that's claiming something is broken.
Right.
I've done that before. They've said, "Hey, this is broken. It was broken in shipment. Can you send me a refund?" I'm like, "Okay." Open up a case, attach a picture, send me a picture of it broken. And a lot of times that squashes it. And that's a simple request. If they're saying something is broken or it's not what it was supposed to be, okay, take me a picture of what I shipped you.
Yep. I had that issue yesterday with a router. It was a really expensive router. Actually, it was that router that Joe pulled out of Twins when we were up there.
Right.
They sent me a picture of it, and I said, "Cool." And they were actually kind of cool about it. They were like, "Hey, I can fix this myself. Just refund $20, and it's copacetic." So, I gave them $20 back. Then I took the picture they sent me, and I filed a case with USPS. Damaged product. So, and if they're willing to do a damaged product thing, like what, as far as sending me the pictures I need to fulfill something like that, I don't mind doing it. You know what I mean? We prove the thing's busted, so that way I can get credit for it. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind refunding you whatever it takes to make you feel good about the transaction, but at least don't leave me, out here stuck with a super expensive loss. Right. It wasn't that expensive because I pulled it out of the bins, but I mean, that was a heck load of ROI that was disappearing.
Right. Eric, the name was Picker, says most scams come from certain categories: video games, cell phones, etc. I agree. Yeah. And I think a lot of buyers probably take advantage of that, knowing that that's kind of a known deal, But
one of the things I was just going through to see how many returns I had. And what I noticed that I don't like is eBay's got my return rate at like 3.08% or something like that. And it's based on every return case that was ever opened, but not actually every return that was done.
Okay.
Because I get a lot of people that fish,
Oh, yeah.
They'll open the case and then they'll send me a message trying to fish for like a discount or something. And I'm like, no, you send the item back and I'll give you 100% refund. That's my return policy. It's not complain and I give you a half a refund, And, they have my returns that were open listed, and that's what's counting as my return rate. But out of all these returns in the last year, I've only had 2 returns this year, but they got like 24 listed. And that's what's counting my return rate. I don't like that.
Right.
I think it should be actually returns that were completed and returned, not just ones that were opened and not returned.
Yeah.
Right. Huh. I don't want to derail the conversation, but I want to bring this up while I'm thinking about it. I know we touched on it yesterday. We got into briefly talking about managed payments yesterday as part of the fall seller update. And I said I wanted to have somebody on to talk about managed payments that's actually done it. I have somebody lined up. Where are we tomorrow?
It's me.
So do you have a topic?
I'm good with it.
You want? He said he can do it Wednesday this week or anytime next week besides Monday.
No, we can do it tomorrow. Not a problem.
You cool with that?
That's cool.
I think it'd be good to have that discussion. There's a lot of hearsay and people saying there's nothing positive. I want to hear it directly. I don't want to attack him or anything. I just want to have a conversation and hear it straight from the horse's mouth with somebody that's actually used it.
Yeah, I think it would be great to have somebody on that we can talk firsthand with that has experience with it. That's the problem that I'm finding when I'm doing my research on managed payments is I can't find and talk to anybody that has any real experience with it.
Right. And I think everything we hear is negative, but I think it's a lot of assumptions potentially.
Right.
And I think it'd be cool to have them on and discuss that. So I think that'll be good.
We're going to try on Friday, try to go to the main channel, or how we're going to start talking about that still too?
I don't think we're ready for that yet.
Okay.
Still need to do some work with it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail the conversation. I just knew if I didn't say it now, I'd forget it.
Right. Right. It's understandable.
So, Anything else going on? A lot of talking about making coffee.
Yeah, everybody has a coffee talk today. Coffee talk.
Oh, there, DC Sales says, I have never filed a claim for damage with USPS. Is it complicated?
It's easy.
I have had 2 USPS claims. One took literally 12 hours for me to get my payout on it, and the other one took about 3 days, and it wasn't really an issue. I just filed the claim, sent them the pictures because it was damaged in delivery.
Yeah, you literally just go on their website, and it's just like a form you fill out. Your information, their information. They want a picture of like proof of the value. I literally just screenshot the sold screen on eBay, upload that, and then they want proof of the damage, and then I'll just upload any pictures I have that they've sent me of the damage.
Right.
And that's literally.
And there is a thing here that people need to know about a USPS claim. If I send something to Craig and he receives it damaged, do not have him send that back to you.
Right.
Before you file the claim. File the claim
Immediately.
have used their pictures or whatever of the damage, because as soon as he sends it back, puts it in the mail again, it's going to null any insurance you had on the first one.
Right.
Gotcha.
I've never had any claims on USPS. I have to open up a claim. I've used we've got a UPS store that's right here, a handful of minutes from the house, and I had a large item, and they offer a pack and ship or whatever they call it, where they'll pack it, they'll ship it. You pay them a little bit extra, but they cover everything. They're responsible for everything. Right. And the way it worked with and it was UPS, and the way they handled it, it was a larger, heavier item I sold about 1.5 years ago. And it got to the customer. It was damaged. They had packaged it. They were responsible, but I had to provide information for my seller. He sent me pictures. I forwarded them on to the guy that at the UPS store. And their process was they had to send not an adjuster, but an inspector or whatever they want to call it, out to inspect the item, which is crazy. I don't know if that happens with every item, if it's over a certain amount or what. I had to coordinate that with my buyer, and it worked out. I mean, it was no problem. He was very willing to work with me and all that. They cut a check. I refunded a certain amount of money, and he agreed. It was a great transaction with the customer. He said, if you'll just give me the amount to cover the broken piece. The whole item was not broken. He said, if you'll just cover the cost of me either fixing or replacing this one piece of this item, I'm cool with it. I said, okay, that's straight up. Well, the claim came back, and I got a decent amount of money back from UPS. But I don't know if anybody else, if it's ever a situation with USPS, or if it's everything with UPS where they have to send somebody out, certain items, certain amount. But I thought that was a little different. He did send pictures, and I submitted those, but they actually had to send somebody out and coordinate it. Nate says you can't file a claim for 7 days. Does that mean 7 days after they receive it? Or you have to do it within 7 days? I don't know. I've never filed a USPS one, so I don't know what the...
Yeah, well, USPS, I know you don't have to wait 7 days on there, because the guy... I sent him it was a Commodore 64 keyboard.
Right. Which the keyboard is the computer.
Yeah, and it was clearly ran over by a forklift. I don't even know why they would have continued to deliver it. But for real, it was just mangled there. You could see the tire marks on it and everything.
That's crazy.
And, the guy messaged me immediately when he got it, and he sent me the pictures, and I was like, yeah, okay. And I filed the claim immediately. And that was the one that it literally took like 12 hours, and I had the deposit. So it was that it's not USPS.
I'm just reading USPS information, just the situation about the 7 days. Insured mail. You may file an indemnity claim for insured mail, COD items registered. Okay, that's talking about mail. If your package arrives damaged or with missing contents, you may file a claim immediately.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never actually waited 7 days. I typically, as soon as I find out there's a problem, I'll file a claim.
Okay. But also on the same thing, I'm looking at another thing. If you're mail or pack, okay, I think the 7 days may be based off of lost items because they want to give it a chance to, kind of work itself out.
Surface, yeah.
And there is a chart, and Nate, I don't know if that's where your possible confusion is. There is a chart, and I don't mind sharing the link. With Priority Mail Express, it says 7 days. Priority Mail, it says 15 days. Well, after 15 days and before 60. So I don't know if that's part of the. He says he went on the website and it says I have to wait. Are you filing for a lost item or a damaged item?
Right. Damage you can do immediately.
Right. T-Slips, when shipping items over normal insured amount with priority, do y'all purchase extra insurance? I typically do. Because priority includes what, $100?
It could be 50 depending on.
Is it 50? I thought I saw 100.
Basic priority is 50.
Okay. I mean, really, if I'm shipping something that's more than $50, it's worth a couple extra dollars to me, just in case. But I don't know exactly how USPS pays out.
I could have swore it was 100.
That's what I thought too. I wonder if it's different. Anthony, are you top-rated seller?
No.
I wonder if that's a difference.
I wonder.
Lisa C says 100 on Pirate Ship, 50 on eBay. If you aren't top rated.
If you aren't top rated, I think it's 100 if you are top rated.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I'm not top rated because of all.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, Jamie says it is. That's what I thought. But
and really, I buy additional insurance honestly, depending on how much over the 100 it is sold for, and how much I paid for it.
Right.
So I mean, if I have $100 insurance and it's going and I sell it for $200 and I paid $5 for the thing, I kind of gamble.
But if it's an item you have quantity of, and you could easily replace it if you had to.
Right. But yeah, if I don't have much invested in it,
right,
I'm not really going to take a loss, and the $100 is going to cover my item and the cost of the shipping and put a few bucks in my pocket. I usually don't, and I haven't had one that didn't make it through, and then I had to take my little bit of profit that way. But I've had things that I've sold for $300 and some that I did put the insurance on, because now that's a heck of a loss of money, even if I had nothing invested in it.
Right. Huh. Interesting. So maybe we should call Derek's customer service and see where he is. See what kind of experience we have.
Yeah, that's a good call there, Lisa, because she says she's not top rated either. So that's one of the things.
Right here, guys.
I may start doing Pirate Ship for all priority now going forward, knowing that.
Yeah. I know
Pirate Ship above once you get like above the padded flat rate, Pirate Ship is more expensive than eBay. Actually, just about everything priority except for cubic is more expensive on Pirate Ship.
For the most part, now I can't say this on everything, but I would say probably 70% of the stuff I send out is either in a padded flat rate or a poly mailer.
Right.
Because I'm really into like the smalls and stuff like that. Yeah. Even if like it's a little bit bigger, it's like a boxed RA item that can still fit in a padded flat rate.
Yep. Now, Jamie says maybe my top rated is why Pirate Ship is never cheap for me, and that could be the case.
Yeah. Yes, reseller man. That is Tommy with the crickets in his basement.
Yeah, I got a cricket down here somewhere. I can't find.
Are you breeding crickets? Are you going to open up a bait farm or something?
No, this is just one single cricket that got in somehow, and I can't find him. I've looked. He's loud.
Wow.
And I guess that's true when some people, they're pirate ship advocates to say, "Oh, pirate ship's always cheaper," and no, eBay's cheaper. And I never took into effect that maybe it has to do with the top rated versus not top rated versus top rated plus.
Right.
So I guess maybe that's I never actually thought of that could be a difference.
Yep. For sure.
Because I know there is quite a difference in the savings on eBay between top rated and not top rated.
Yeah, that's why I've always tried to be that, not because I get the badge or it's going to be, I just think it's good business in my opinion. I mean, there's circumstances that can cause you not to make it for whatever. I'm not saying it's bad anybody that does it, but I've just done my best to keep that.
And that's one of the reasons why I said with the other store we have that used to be Destiny's, that I want to turn that one into like the drop ship store, even though I would be legitly drop shipping through a supplier,
Right.
that is all eBay legal. You're still drop shipping, therefore you can never be top rated.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I wouldn't want to ruin the store I have with the top rated. And I don't really care. I don't think people really look at them badges anymore. I don't think they're as important as they used to be on the buyer end, on the saving money on shipping end. The little bit of discount they give you on the fees and stuff like that is where it counts. I don't think people say, "Oh, this guy's top rated, I'm buy from him." I don't think buyers are looking like that anymore.
I think it's definitely decreased over the years. The big thing way back was, are you a power seller? They gave you a power seller badge, and when that first came out, it potentially had an impact on whether a buyer bought from you or not.
I printed it out and put it in a picture frame. And now it's still in a frame floating around somewhere. I couldn't tell you where I was, but I was so proud I made power seller. I was like, yay.
Yep. Lucas says it's top rated plus, accepting free returns just doesn't sound appealing to me.
No, top rated. To get the top rated plus, it's more about the volume, I think, that you're selling. You have to sell so much within a certain period of time to get that plus badge, I believe. I'm not positive though.
Right. Welcome in, FGS. She says, for me, pirate ship is always the same unless it's cubic. And that's what I'm seeing too. But I am top rated, so.
But see, if I go to do a padded flat rate on pirate ship, I believe it's $7.55, and on eBay it's $7.35.
I was gonna say $7.30, $7.35, whatever it is. So wasn't long ago that was $6.90 and $7.10.
Yeah, that was nice.
Wow. Lisa C says, I think he stuffed Mr. Pickles and put him on a pole behind him.
That's the monkey behind him.
Which monkey is he seeing? Oh, that one?
Right behind you.
Yeah, yep. I got my other one over here. He's a little closer. You can see him better. Where is he? There he is. He's hanging upside down. Those are my stripper monkeys on the stripper poles.
She's saying for you to take Mr. Pickles downstairs to get the cricket. He'll eat the cricket.
I'll have better luck once the cat comes down here. Mr. Cricket, Mr. Cricket. Mr. Pickles probably be scared of the cricket.
They're talking a little bit about top rated seller, top rated plus. I'm just reading on their eBay's help page. It says qualifying your listings for top rated plus seal and discounts. To qualify for top rated plus benefits, you need to be a top rated seller, and your eligible listings need to provide a 14-day or longer money back return policy, 30 days starting in 2016. Provide same or 1-day business handling time.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I got it, because I don't do free. I don't have free. Some of my stuff has free returns on it. A majority of it don't. I'm getting away from that. I'm noticing my return rate has dropped drastically, but my sell rate has stayed pretty close to the same. I was scared when I started charging for returns. I mean, I switched over to paid shipping and charged returns buyer pays returns at a 30-day return, and I thought for sure my sales were gonna fall off, but I didn't really notice that big of a difference. But I did notice a difference in my return rate fall.
Yeah.
I would say I haven't had a return in a long time, but as soon as I say that, I'll get 5 of them tomorrow.
And that's what happens when they come. I always seem to get them like 3 to 5 at a crack.
Oh, it sucks so bad. Yeah. Have you guys ever had the same item returned more than once?
Yes,
I have too.
I think so. I think I sold a is it Mitchell and Ness that makes the jerseys?
Yep.
Yep.
I think I had a old Braves Hank Aaron jersey. It was a Mitchell and Ness.
Okay.
And
The baby blue and white one.
Yeah, it was the cream colored.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was a button or a zip or something up here on the collar, and it said it was missing the little hang thing that I had put a paper clip on it. I was like, whatever. No, I didn't. I think I had it returned twice.
No.
Now, I'm trying to remember if it was for a different reason the second time. That was the reason the first time. And that one killed me early on. It happened pretty early on in restarting reselling. I started selling back in the early 2000s, late 90s, and I took a hiatus over a period of time and just got back into it about 2 or 3 years ago.
I had a Sony Handycam returned twice. Both times the buyer said that it was a fake, which is like, I looked at it. I had friends look at it, you know what I mean, that did reselling, and everybody's like, no, that's real. So I relisted it, and exact same thing came back. This thing's a fake. So I just sold it at the flea market. I was like, you know what? I believe this to be real, but I'm not going to keep sending it out and losing shipping on it, especially if I only paid $5 for it in an estate sale.
Wow. I can't imagine getting that kind of claim on something like a Sony, you know? I mean, it was probably a decent sale, but it's not like it was a $500, $600, $700 iPhone or a.
Yeah.
I mean, people aren't going to typically fake lower dollar items, you know?
Exactly.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive about that situation. But, so when did you make the switch to buyer paid returns?
I started switching over at the beginning of the year, and then, like I say, about every 6 months, I review my items that haven't sold, and as I would do that, items that I had previously listed, that at that point is when I'd switch them over to from free shipping, free returns to paid shipping and buyer pays return. So I think I'm actually almost all the way through. I don't think I have anything left with free returns in my store. Might be a couple of straggling items.
I think I offer free returns on everything, 30 days. I haven't had any issues. But, yeah, DC Sales says if you're going to accept returns, you need to charge for shipping, and that's what I do. That way you don't have to refund shipping. It also encourages INAD abuse when you don't accept returns. We have that issue. One of the main reasons I got away from free shipping because it gives me more flexibility with the price of my item. I can run a deeper sale without it impacting my cost to ship an item. You know, if I'm doing free shipping and I deeply discount something, I'm potentially discounting it even further because I have to pay shipping.
Right.
You know, and I you know, it just depends on the time of the month. Reseller man, I do free returns on all my first class items, and most everything else is buyer paid. My return rate is less than 1%, and I sell 400 items a month, 400 plus items a month. But again, that gets into the, you know, one size doesn't fit all. Everybody's made decisions to do one thing or the other for whatever reason.
Right.
You know, it's different. You can't do returns on books. People read them. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of items like that. You know, potentially books, clothing. I don't think on men's clothing as much, but women, I hate to say this, but I have a feeling women's clothing is probably a little more risky.
I have not ever had a men. I do a lot of clothing.
Yeah.
but I have never had a men's piece of clothing returned.
Have you ever had a man ask for measurements on something?
I have not.
I don't believe I have. I can't say for sure. Something tells me there might have been a dress shirt that he asked about the shoulder width.
But potentially a lot less than a woman.
I have women ask me all the time, what's the ankle? What's the thigh? You know,
how thick is the seam on the inseam?
I know it's listed as a mid rise, but what's the actual measurement of the rise?
Another reason I hate selling clothing.
Yep.
We eliminated a lot of it by just including it in the listing now. If you look at any of our women's clothing, it's got about every measurement you could ask for, and I got a built-in measuring thing built right into the table there. So when we're drafting, it's nothing for me just to flip the clothing around real fast and measure it.
But you've gotten down to a process and you've become efficient at that, and it's useful.
When I was sitting there like this, and then flip it, it took forever, but and then all my measurements are listed as approximate. They're within a half inch.
Right.
I round to the nearest half inch.
Junk Girl 71, welcome in. I don't know that I've seen you in our chats before. If you've been here and we haven't noticed you, I appreciate you speaking up. She says, "Hey guys, I've most definitely had men ask for measurements. I wasn't saying that you would never, but I have a feeling the trending is probably that you get more questions and stuff like that out of women than you do men.
With the men that are asking for measurements too, it probably has a lot to do with what type of men's clothing. I mean, if you're selling higher end, maybe sports coats or tuxes or fancier dress shirts, they might be a little bit more picky. But I've never had a guy ask me for a measurement on a polo.
Do you see Fishing and Pickens comment just now?
Yeah.
Men ask all the time.
Yeah. And that's why there's probably such a good market on used socks and shoes. And
if you go on eBay and type in just go into the search and type in well-worn ladies shoes.
I would rather not.
and look at the soles. You would be astonished.
Yeah, and it's on brands that are just about worthless sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
I've looked at it before. I'm like, I just don't need to be thinking about this.
Yeah,
each his own. I'm not going to judge, but Jamie says don't do it. I'm not. What happened on ESPN?
Something about the 2020 NBA mock draft.
Oh, who cares about NBA? That's crap.
And to flip it says another way for measurements: take good pictures on mannequins to sell them, then several flat lays with long rulers at different angles in pictures. See, I tried doing the whole yardstick next to it and the seamstress tape next to it. And now that became too lengthy for the dollar amount of clothing. Maybe if I was selling suits or something, but for the dollar amount to sell a pair of men's Levi's, I don't do that. For shirts, dress shirts and stuff, I used to use a mannequin. I got 3 mannequins sitting down here. I haven't used them in forever. I made my extended wide hanger.
Yeah.
So I can actually hang it. It looks flat laid because I'm in a basement. I'm not going to put anything on the floor and lay it down and take a picture.
Right.
But my pictures look flat laid because I made that custom hanger. And front and back, that's good. The only time I'll put it on a mannequin is if there's like a print that's going down the sleeve and it just looks better in like a natural state than laid flat and stretched out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot, time is money when it comes to listing, and especially if you're dealing, and I can see spending more time on something that you're going to make more profit on. But if you're selling just run-of-the-mill clothing, I can't see spending 7, 8, 10 minutes on a listing,
Oh, yeah.
Here's somebody who just came into the chat. Crystal, Rosie's Closet. She makes the stuff, so she knows exactly. Oh,
I'm actually
That'd be-
another way I want to cut off in my listing time, which has to do with pictures. I'm looking for a white lazy Susan that I can lay in my photograph area that I can just set my item instead of picking it and up and turning it. I can just
spin
the
it.
lazy Susan. Doop doop doop.
You don't need a lazy Susan. You need a lazy Derek.
Yeah, but that's a one of a kind.
Exactly. OOAK.
And then they even have who was it? I think it was oh, what the hell's her name now? She doesn't sell on eBay no more. She used to. Now she's a big posh seller.
Nicole State.
Yeah. She had a thing that she put her mannequins on that rotated. So she could just do her mannequins and take the pictures and not actually have to turn or change angles.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good idea.
You know, they make a whole system, and I can't remember who it is that makes it. It's made for eBay pictures, and it's got a whole motor built into it and a camera, and it rotates it for you and takes all the angle pictures and all that.
Yeah.
Jamie uses a clear deck box from my old Magic the Gathering cards. I don't know if Tommy knows what a deck box is.
I don't know what a deck box is.
Reseller
Reseller Man says he loves using Sizely for measurements. Sizely is an awesome site for measurements. That's where I learned to take my measurements is on Sizely. What the common because everybody varies from where they take their measurements a little bit. And I went with Sizely, and then I was using pictures to show exactly this measurement is taken when I call it this measurement and that measurement. That's what it is. Sizely's great.
Here's a big deck box.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, okay.
But you just put gaming cards in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you have to move the box. I want something that's going to kind of spin by itself.
That's right.
Smaller ones you can have.
Take your lazy Susan out of your bottom cabinets and use it that way.
Yeah, the thing is ours is like a tan that we have in our cabinet. I want a white one so it just blends with the white background.
They have them at Home Depot.
I don't
know if you saw Jamie's comment, and that may have been what y'all were talking about. Home Depot makes a swivel joint.
Mm-hmm.
Make your own. I guess it's like a hinge or something, maybe. That's cool.
I suppose I got a bar stool in the garage I could probably rip apart and just put a board or something on it and paint it white.
Right.
Probably work.
Yeah. That thing Derek uses for his cars.
Yeah, like the little jewelry.
Yeah, but that's not going to support a bigger, heavier item.
No, they have big ones like that. Yeah.
I mean, they have ones that you put cars on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They make them all shapes and sizes.
Well, that's right.
I just want one.
Yeah.
I want one medium size, like this, that fits in a microwave and spins your plate.
Talking about measurements and stuff. I'm sorry, I hate to go back to that, but one, and I think you didn't really talk about it, Tommy, with sizing, but pictures and all that. With suits and things, I don't sell a lot of suits. I probably sold 2 or 3 in the last 2 years. You got to be careful that some of those things, even though they say something in the tag, so many people have suits tailored and sized and altered and all that. That's the typical shirts and pants. Sometimes pants could be cuffed and stuff like that, but with suits, a lot of times they're altered to fit the right. Just be careful with those kind of things. I saw one. Was not pinstripe. What's the style with the white and the colored stripe?
Not zoot suit. Not like a zoot suit.
No, gosh, what's it called? I can't think of it. Dang it! I bought it at the. I think I paid like $5 or $6 for it. It was a full suit. Somebody bought the jacket and didn't want the pants because the pants didn't fit them because they weren't in sync with what they needed. Holly, what is it? Not pinstripe.
A seersucker?
Seersucker. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. My mind is going. You turn 50 and your mind goes.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Yes. I knew we kept Lisa around for a reason. I'm kidding, Lisa. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wow. David Rubino says, I picked up something a bit strange. A clear vintage acrylic Lexan toilet seat with like 30 little rubber duckies embedded within. I don't know they existed. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them with money in them. I've seen them with like fish in them. They're kind of neat.
Rosie's Closet, great point. Talking about measuring suits. If it's an expensive suit, just take it to the dry cleaner and then give you the exact measurements.
Oh wow!
That's cool.
But, if it's that simple, I'd start selling more suits.
Yeah, suits are pretty fun to sell. Like I said, I've sold a few. You just got to be careful. I found myself looking through them, and sometimes you don't notice like a moth hole. It could be even just a small one that's easy to overlook, especially when a darker colored. I bought one. I didn't pay. I think I paid $2 or $3 for a guy at home and found a moth hole. I'm like, oh well, put it in the garbage. It's 10:15. We've been going an hour and 15 minutes. I feel like we're losing a little steam.
Yeah. We can cut her off and come back tomorrow all fresh and revived with a guest.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. So tomorrow we'll be having a discussion about the eBay managed payment system. We've got a guest coming on that has opted into it. They're a decent sized eBay seller. I don't know if we'll do question and answer session. I think there's potentially a lack of information out there about it, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. I think everybody assumes that it's bad. I'm sure I've talked to him a little bit. I think he'll be open to questions. I don't want us to attack him and say it's bad or vice versa, but I think we can gather a lot of information from somebody that's actually used it instead of assuming, or I've heard. Let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth of somebody that's used it.
Right. Yeah. I can't say whether managed payments is good or bad because I don't have any experience with it. So I'm looking forward to it as a learning experience.
Yeah.
So anybody that has any questions or wants to know specific things about managed payments, how it works, can I take my payments out? I know we were talking briefly about the whole being able to use shipping with your pending payments. Hopefully he'll be prepared with that kind of information, and we can have a great discussion. I can see that taking up a good bit of time because I'm sure there's a lot of questions.
Right.
Anything else before we head out?
Let's come back up Bible study at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. That's right, Eastern. 2 p.m. Eastern.
Standard time.
And don't forget, if you haven't picked your car, go back to my video yesterday. Pick your car for racing on Friday. We're back to racing, guys.
Yeah. Anything, Tommy?
No, man. I'm just waiting on my cutter to get here so I can play. Practice.
Before we jump out, Fishing Picking had a great point. Said if the suit is a good brand, cut the labels off before throwing away. You can sell the labels and the buttons on the suit.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I don't have anything. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you showing up. Like we always say, no reason to have a show if we don't have viewers, and it takes each and every one of you to make it a successful show, and we definitely appreciate it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning on Tommy's channel.
Wrong way.
Tommy's channel. Same time, different channel. So, and like I said, guys, thank you for all coming. More toys, more fun. You know my motto. Keep up with these guys. If you're not subscribed, you should be by everybody. And subscribe to everybody that's in the chat. We're all great guys. Let's keep it going, and we'll see you guys tomorrow on the flip side.
See you guys.
Peace out. Deuces. Quads. Full house.
Full house.